the time to discuss this. Kia ora, welcome to Solway News. I'm Poppy and this is...
You went on, Justin? But you know that I've been going out with him for 2 months, 4 days, 5 hours? He's my boyfriend.
Well, does he know that? Because that's not the impression I got on Saturday night. Anyway, you're being so unprofessional. Just stop it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I breaking a code of ethics that you thought I might have? A code of ethics that includes smiling at the camera, keeping my private life to myself, and I don't know, not stealing other people's boyfriends.
Good evening. We begin this evening with breaking news about Richie McCaw's new girlfriend. She is...
How can you carry on like nothing has happened?
When questioned about whether he thought having a new girlfriend would distract McCaw from the World Cup, Graham Henry replied,
Poppy Samantha Hippie, don't ignore me. Just who the dickens do you think you are?
Susanna, I need you home as soon as possible tomorrow after school as you need to mind your brother.
Oh, I wish you had told me sooner because I won't be home until 4:30.
You what? You won't be home? Do you have an appointment with the Queen or something?
Actually, I do have an appointment as a matter of fact. I've read.
What for, Susanna?
It's personal.
It's not now. Tell me.
Well, if you must know, I'm getting my belly button pierced. I've read.
You what? You're getting your belly button pierced? So you've made this big decision to stick a large needle through your body and then make an appointment about it, but not once did you think about telling me or your father about it. Young lady, who the dickens do you think you are?
This seems to be a recurring theme. Just who the dickens do you think you are? Yes, I'm talking to you. And you, Rose Collis. I hope you're listening too. It's important to know who you are and where you fit into this world. Your identity is made up of your culture, your language, your belief and your beliefs. Princess Tapulia, Sir Peter Buck and Hidden Melbourne all had a strong identity and were each able to shape the world that we live in today. Princess Tapulia was a granddaughter of Te Whai o Te Whirowhiro, the second Māori king. She was a lady with much mana and many people sought her advice. Sir Peter Buck was a descendant of the Ngāti Mūtanga and is well known for his contribution to the early New Zealand politics. In fact, he was also a doctor, a soldier and a sportsman. Hidden Melbourne was a tūhoi in a Ngāti Kahungunu. He was a man of many talents, one of which was composing and performing music. Through this discovery of traditional music and his creation of new music, he has become one of the most important musicians of Aotearoa. Now over to our reporter, who went in search of somebody who could detail their identity. Whakarongo atu.
Kia ora. I have with me today college student Leila Wiley. Tēnā koe, Leila. Ko rero mai no hea koe.
Kia ora, Emily. Ko tararua te maunga, ko Rumahanga te awa, ko Solway College te iwi, ko Leila Wiley toko ingoa.
Kia ora, Leila. Your te reo is very good. Can you tell us anything about the use? Can you tell us anything about te reo?
Certainly. It wasn't until the Māori Language Act of 1987 that te reo became an official language in New Zealand.
Really, that is very interesting, given that te reo has been spoken in New Zealand for centuries.
It is incredible. Now thanks to organisations like Māori Television and Kura Kaupapa, te reo is alive and well.
Kia ora, Leila. Over to you, Poppy and Mary.
Thank you, Emily and Leila. Native Americans also have a unique identity. We tend to think of Native Americans swooping around on horses, eating buffalo and living in teepees. And this is very true, in a very simplified form for the Native Americans who lived on the plains. However, some Native Americans lived in the mountains and their way of life was different. These people might live in huts and hunt animals larger than buffalo, like bears. Other tribes lived on the coast and ate fish as part of their diet and had tools and utensils made out of shell. The unique identity of Native Americans was not always celebrated. However, the clash of Native Americans with Europeans in the 1800s has left a bigger legacy. This is emphasized most particularly in what has come to be known as the Trail of Tears. This trail was a result of the government's Indian Removal Act in 1830, which insisted that Native Americans be forced to leave their homelands and move on foot to special reservations set aside for them. Many died on the way, with the Cherokee losing 4,000 of its 15,000 members. Let's cross now to see what's happening on the streets of America.
Give me a pound, lock it down, break the pickle, tickle tickle. How? Mike! Do you know why Native Americans, when meeting each other, simply use the term how?
Because when the white people came to America, they asked the Native Americans a lot of stupid questions like, how are you going? How are you feeling? How is the game? Where you come from?
Really? I just thought that tribes had each a dialect, like they use how, just like we use yeah all the time.
Then what about an Indian giver? Does that really originate from Native Americans just taking back gifts whenever they felt like it?
No, that's a false interpretation. When Native Americans go to trade with the white people, they lay their gifts down in front of their feet, and if they don't find anything they want to trade, they will simply take it back. In fact, if a Native American wants to give a gift, they will leave it where it can simply be found.
That is very interesting. It is funny how we develop these myths about these people over time now, isn't it?
Yes.
Thanks for your time, Morgan. Now over to Caitlin with an outline of the traditional rohe of some of Aotearoa's many iwi.
Thank you, Emily. Looking at a map of Aotearoa, we can see where some of the iwi originally settled. In the far north, in Hone Harawira land, is Ngāpuhi and Te Rarawa. Congratulations to Hone for winning the by-election there. Around Auckland is Ngāti Whātua and Ngāti Manaia Poto. Ngāti Whātua fought their land at Baston Point by setting up camp in the 70s and refusing to not move for over a year. The Tainui Waka landed in the Waikato. Kia ora mataira motu. In the centre of Aotearoa we have Rotorua and Taupo, and the tribes there are Te Arawa and Ngāti Tūwharetua. Kia ora Jasmine Penny. On the East Cape is Ngāti Porou, and moving inland to the Uruweras is Tūhoe land. Tūhoe are well known for their ferocity, and John Key once remarked how he was afraid if he visited there, he could well end up as lunch. Taranaki Way we have Atiawa, and between the Wanganui and Manawatu rivers we have Ngāti Apa, Te Hei Moriora. Ngāti Toa are from the head of Te Ika Maui. Along the east coast, which includes Wairarapa, is Ngāti Kahungunu. Ngāti Tahu are in the South Island. Nureira ka mutu. Back to the news desk with Poppy and Mere.
Thanks, Caitlin. Mere, what are you doing?
I'm just sending a text to one Justin Bieber, teaching a little bit of Shakespeare.
Shakespeare? What kind of Shakespeare?
Oh, just the meaning of...
Beep! Beep! Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye.